Well, I'm very pleased to join you for the Inter-American Business and Nature Forum. I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but as all of you know very well, it's very important to listen to Mother Nature. And in this case, her threats of a hurricane coming to Boston have led to my need to get home a bit earlier than I had planned. At the Energy Futures Initiative, we've always put coalition building at the top of our list for addressing climate change, energy security, and social justice in one, not multiple conversations. Bringing together champions in the worlds of business and nature, and I would add social justice, is an example of just such coalition building as you are doing with this meeting. In addressing climate change, the electricity sector has been leading the way and must lead the way in economy-wide decarbonization. Latin America is a leader in hydropower, which is the source of about 45% of electricity in Latin America, nearly 3 times the global average. And there are still new projects in the works for additional hydropower. Now, that's good news in that hydropower is a low carbon emissions source. However, it's also climate dependent. Obviously, melting glaciers will increasingly impact certain regional hydropower systems, but beyond direct warming issues are the less easily quantifiable extreme weather events, in particular hydro-related events like droughts, volatile rainfall patterns, floods, and the like, that also threaten hydropower. Now, these risks all add to those persistent questions of deforestation, destruction of indigenous lands, and impacts on river flows. So while hydropower will continue to be a major valuable electricity source, a climate resilient electricity system in Latin America will need to look beyond just carbon emissions to an overall sustainable energy economy. Now, this poses a challenge to overall energy planning in Latin America, not unlike that faced in many, perhaps most parts of the world. One of the transition fuels will certainly be natural gas, and there are certainly significant supplies in several parts of Latin America. There are also challenges, whether the logistical challenges of delivery to Caribbean island nations, or financing the infrastructure in Argentina, or managing the phase out of carbon emissions over several decades from natural gas. Again, these are not issues special to Latin America, so coalitions within countries and across different parts of the world are needed for an effective response. Another major Latin American energy resource is biomass, used sustainably. We are still at the very early stages of harnessing this resource for not just low carbon uses, but potentially negative carbon uses. With more technology development, this resource may be able to serve high value markets like sustainable aviation fuels. However, all must be done while preserving or enhancing biodiversity, not diminishing it, and with the highest standards of social justice. Latin America can lead the way in this dimension. The importance of international cooperation and complementarity is also highlighted in the increased focus on resilient supply chains. COVID brought home the importance of better supply chain hygiene, as did the invasion of Ukraine and other geopolitical tensions. One set of supply chains of critical importance to climate change is the development of supply chains for critical metals and materials. These are essential, of course, for future clean energy technologies. It's very important, however, that the push for resilient supply chains not devolve into domestic or regional protectionism. Here, there are major opportunities in the Americas for new levels of cooperation and mutually beneficial economic interdependence. Social justice issues for underserved populations are again of great importance and need to be front and center on the takeoff, not just the landing. This is the way to do right by communities, but also to reduce the friction in supplying the needs of a global clean energy economy. Finally, I'll end with a personal story relevant to some of the cultural change that we'll need to see throughout Latin America and elsewhere. I had the pleasure of twice addressing a group named Legado, on issues of climate and clean energy. This group, which was formed under the guidance of former Brazilian President Cardoso, is composed of the young generation of wealthy families, all with a commitment to address humanity's major challenges through philanthropy. Such a commitment by young people to put considerable resources to work for the common good is remarkable and critical. We face major challenges, but such developments in Latin America and elsewhere give me, at least, great hope. I look forward to Latin America and the Caribbean moving along the development trajectory sustainably and with social justice, and pointing the way for other regions of the world as well. COP30 in 2 years in Brazil will hopefully build progress towards solving some of our biggest challenges collectively. Thank you, and best wishes for your discussions in the coming hours.